is that? What the hell is that? What's up, everybody? My name is Jay Watts, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. We're in the last video, which is part of the 100 subscriber challenge. I think it was a budget challenge. That's right, that's what it was. And this was the thing that won for 83,000 in-game cash. We completed the budget challenge with the jump, the hardest jump probably in this game if you don't have a lot of money. In this video, we're kind of returning to the roots of how I started on Forza Horizon 5. We're going to be reviewing a car that I didn't even know existed until I just won it, as you saw at the beginning of the video. What we're going to be reviewing is this thing, the Mercedes-Benz W154 from 1939. I've never heard of this car. I don't even think I've seen people make videos on this car. This car is completely foreign to me, and it's worth a whopping 20 million in-game cash. Now, there's probably a good chance somebody's made a video on this thing. They probably unlocked it by grinding in the game to get all these cars. But bro, I've never seen this thing. It looks almost like the other Mercedes I used to have, but it's not that. It wasn't even a Mercedes I'm talking about. Before we go test it out stock in a freaking race, I want to see if this car's in the auction house out of curiosity. Apparently, it is in the auction house. There is a bunch of them. There's a huge list, and they only sell for about 3 million max, which is 2.9 million. How have I never heard of this car? But regardless, we're going to try everything. I mean, everything. We're going to do rally racing. We're going to do street racing. Ignore the dog barking in the background. We're gonna even try drifting and drag racing. Just see where this fits, you know, like what category does it best fit in. And of course, as soon as I come in 5 minutes later, I get a freaking barn find gift. Why do I even bother checking these freaking things anymore? Alright, just because, like I said, a million times in the last videos, I am the most familiar with the lookout circuit because I've done a million rivals challenges with it, testing a million different cars to see which one worked the best. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out to see how it works stock. Just a heads up, whoever prefers Monbazoo over these videos, I will be posting a Monbazoo video tomorrow, so to stay tuned for that. I've been holding it off for a while because I didn't have the time like I usually do to record that video. I'm probably gonna be in there for at least 2 to 3 hours with what I have planned. There were so many cars from this era that had this body styling. That's probably why I got them mixed up. Yeah, burn out for days. Sorry, not sorry. This was also during the area where the cars had the weird camber in the front, obviously, so when you turn, it would keep the wheel straight and you get the most grip, but it was just weird. How are you not drifting through every corner like I am? I can't help it. What the hell is that in first place? Is that a Bentley? Ah! Such an old era of racing. I love it. It's surprisingly fun to do this. That would have probably destroyed the car. I'm coming for you, Direwolf Keen. I don't even know who the hell you are. I don't even have you on my friends list. My bad. Not sorry. I don't know why I'm saying that. I can't even stay in a straight line. It's not my fault. Okay, it is my fault. I'm a bad driver. Don't pass me. Excuse me. It just blows my mind that people were willing to risk their lives to do racing. And I can get behind it. I understand why. Racing is a lot of fun, but these cars were going what was absurd speeds at the time, with no protection whatsoever. They had leather caps for protection. It feels like the most protection you get out of this car, if you had a seatbelt, was that part that kind of goes up with your head. And I think that was more like to improve airflow for the aerodynamics. Okay, stock, it's not a bad car. We won first place. But the Bugatti T35C beat everybody in the best lap time, and that's not surprising considering that was the best race car of the era. Alright, so now we know if you were deciding to take this racing against other cars that were stock from this era, it's a good car, but other than that, not so much. There's no way in hell it could take on any modern cars. I mean, if we're crying out loud, a hot hatch would probably beat this in a race. Now that it's weird, the RPM gauge is going the other way. Now, in the early days, this car was obviously designed to race. Makes me wonder, if upgraded with added aerodynamics, would it be any good in racing against more modern cars? It doesn't have any aero options, so probably no. Because it has no aero options, I guess we're not using it for that, are we? It doesn't even have edge swap options. Apparently this thing makes 483 horsepower stock. It only weighs 2,700 pounds. My car weighs more than that. Now, first things first, we're going to out all-wheel drive. It's going to wheel spin like crazy regardless, especially with this tire compound on it. I'm going to make it a drag build since we're not doing racing, because racing just feels too ambitious, especially with adding horsepower. It just sounds ridiculous. I could try to make it better in handling, though. We're going to make this tires fatter. They only go up to 215s, apparently. We should probably add lightweight wheels as well. Let's add some BBSs to keep with the classic trend. Are you serious? These wheels are that light? Dude. They're as light as the lightest wheels you can get. The only option for brakes is street brakes. We can add drift suspension, so now we know we can at least try to make a drift build out of it, but there's no other option, so it's already on race suspension. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a 7-speed in it just because it brings that top speed up a lot. Alright, with all the upgrades, we added 94 pounds, but we did add 99 horsepower. And that's not a whole lot, but this thing is already pretty light. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I guess we're gonna find out. This thing tops out 231 miles an hour. You know how terrifying that would be? It's gonna 0 to 60 of 1.4 seconds, bro. I'm gonna make this rear wheel biased as much as possible without affecting the 0 to 60 times. Okay, there we go. We decreased the 0 to 60 time by 0.010 milliseconds. And because retractor tire pressure is already way down. Okay, this thing was ready for this. I haven't even tested it yet, and I'm already immediately going into a race. I'm seriously surprised I have not heard of this car. I mean, I guess it just looked too much like the other cars of the era. Oh, that thing next to me is freaking huge. Why did I get a late start? That's bullshit. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. We absolutely destroyed them. They didn't even stand a chance. Second place was also my car, so first and second were this car, so it was the best of the bunch. Alright, I gotta take it in the race, see how it handles. I can't go without doing that. It seems like it probably would handle better, but we won't know until we test it. So let's take it to a race. That sounds so good. Okay, so I decided to just look up this car. I figured I'd give some interesting information. This car was released, as you can see, 1939. This car had a supercharged front engine longitudinally mounted. It was a 3-liter V12 with a 60-degree angle. It weighed 2,006 pounds. And it topped out at 205 miles an hour. Do you know how crazy that is for 1939? That's terrifying. I had a good launch off the line, but so did everybody else, so this might not go well. That understeer is dramatic as hell, unless I whip out the back a little bit. Okay, never mind, it's oversteering now. It's going back and forth between understeer and oversteer. Once again, that Bentley-looking thing is in the lead. I don't understand why. I feel like that thing would be slower than what we're in. Could you get out of my way, please? Now you're just outpacing me. Nope, you're okay, goodbye. That thing barely takes corners than I do, apparently. I just want to point out something before I finish this race. This thing has a slower lap time than the Miata did with 260 horsepower. It does not handle that well, but this car has proven itself with the best lap time out of this entire list. Alright, so we know in that class, actually a pretty good build that I have here. It's not a bad car, but I seriously would not recommend taking this on online races unless it's only in that class. But it's time we make a drift build out of this thing because we can't go without making drift builds. Been on my channel for a while. You might have figured out that drifting is just kind of my thing. That's what I'm best at in this game. I love racing, but drifting is just It's just a thrill, and you don't have to worry about the competition. You're just out for yourself and beating people on the leaderboard, so maybe there is competition. We're going to throw back on the 6-speed, which is a stock transmission, and we're going to switch it to a drift differential, where everybody drift slicks on it, and that's everything we need to do, because that's all we can do. I mean, this thing has the most adorable windscreen. Do you see that? And drift suspension, can't forget that. We actually lost some weight by making the tires a little skinnier, and our lateral is now 1.5, which doesn't make sense to me, considering I just put drift tire compound on it. We'll figure it out, make some tunes, whatever. We shifted the entire balance to the rear, and it still has a 2.2 acceleration to 60. Time to take it to the test drift zone. You know, I actually do not expect this car to do that good, but I guess we gotta test it anyway. Okay, it's actually not that bad. But I can't make a comparison because it's been forever since I've done drifting. It is not doing that good at the moment, even though I just said it was doing good. Okay, 162,000 is not that great, but it's seriously not the worst score that I've gotten in that drift zone. Ooh, super wheel spin. Would I recommend this car? Sure. For fun. Sure, absolutely. Classic racing also. But before I go ahead and call it a quits for this video, I'm going to go ahead and test top speed and just see how terrifying that is. Top speed says 233. Let's see if we can reach it. We got to make it feel like we're in that time, so yeah. This thing sounds like a jet engine taking off. Hold on, are we hitting paddle shifters that aren't there? Yeah, it's hitting nothing. Bro, there's no paddles there. This is before paddle shifters was a thing. What are you doing? 230, 231, 232, 233, 234, 235. Okay, we maxed out at 235 miles an hour. Hey! Yay! So fun! Whee! Alright, well, that is all the time I got for this video. The next time I'm in a Forza Horizon game, though, we'll be doing something I created. I just came up with this called the Triple Threat Timed Challenge. It's going to involve 3 different PR stunts, and it's going to be a budget challenge. And it's going to be one of the most complex budget challenges I've ever put together. And it's going to be extremely time consuming, so the video might actually be a long one. Stay tuned for that if you'd like to see that. If you enjoyed the video, crash that like button. If you'd like to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.